What's up? What's up, everybody? We got some charts to break down today. We got some really good signals here, a little bit of conflicting data coming in, but how do we stay prepared to make sure that we stay on the right side of these trades? I made a move in my portfolio. I'll share that with you. I already shared it in the Discord, and I added to some things. I closed out something, and there's a lot to talk about today. I'm excited about this. It is Monday. Let's all get the vibes up. Let's get this live chat flowing. I hope you're all feeling good. Hope your portfolio is doing okay. And if you just got to sit on the sidelines and not do something, that's okay too. Sometimes that's the best, absolute best thing to do. So right now, I think it's time to jam some tunes, and we'll be getting into the stream here in just a moment.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this.
I am vibing today.
Can't nobody
Hope you're all
tell me
feeling
nothing.
good. Again, we got a lot to cover here. So everybody get involved. Throw some emojis in the chat. Let's rock it.
I heard that from everything. Every hour losing purchasing power on foolish out there. It's not our fault. Blame the coal. It's the political cowards. When it comes to gas, I purchasing power just got cut in half. I sit back and laugh, open my bag, and fill it with stacks and sats. Bitcoin, pumping, altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We are hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as
Bitcoin, pump, altcoin, pump.
we are hearing from clients around the world.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a
Can't
flight
nobody
to
tell me
quality.
nothing. Bitcoin, pump.
We are hearing from clients around the world.
So let me know in the chat, have you been buying anything over the weekend? Have you been selling anything? What are you doing? If you're ready to get this stream going, I want to see everybody throw a 1 in the chat. Throw in some emojis. Let's get these vibes up and let's kick it. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Shout out to Meep with the first #1. We got Dimple Paul, Justin W, Alexandra G. We got so many people here in the crew. We got a lot to talk about because the markets are doing their best to shake people out. So my question to you right now, did you get shaken out of anything this weekend? Or did you make any calculated moves? Did you take some profits or exit anything and pick anything else up? Did something come on your radar? Let us know. This is a community. We got a lot to talk about today. We got to talk about this market. We're still at $2.5 trillion market cap, and yet some people feel like it's all over because we see a little bit of red. Well, a little bit of red means that the opportunity is starting to present itself because this market is setting up for some incredible things. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things in this market. Is this an inverted head and shoulders? Are we about to get a launch to the upside? Are we going to break down? What's going on with these liquidation levels? What is happening with this chart right here? Is this signaling that we have something incredible coming to the altcoin market, AKA really the entire crypto market? Yes, it does. And we have a lot more to talk about. So I want to see everybody in chat right now. You are all the early comers before the stream really kicks into gear. I want to see everybody post something in the live chat that you're grateful for. Let me know, what's your best performing coin right now? What's your worst performing coin right now in your portfolio? Let's see how everybody's situated right now, because remember, we got to do this as a team. We got to do this as a family. Shout out to everybody in the live chat right now that came from the BitLab Discord, that came from the BitLab Academy community, the premium community. Thank you for being here. We're going to break things down. This is going to be a little bit shorter stream today because I have a meeting about, this incredible tool that I share on here all the time, HighBlock, trying to work out some things so that we can make sure that we can get it in your hands. That's what this is about, making sure that we all have the tools we need to succeed. So let's talk about it. Everybody, before we get going, I want you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, get this going. Let's talk about what's going on in this market. So let's dive right on into it. Bitcoin is at $67,000. And yet some of us are frustrated. Some of us are, oh my God, it's not going up. It's at $67,000. Do you all realize if we zoom out on this chart, let's just go to the daily. We don't need to go too macro. Let's just measure this back. I'm going to measure this right here. Boom. And let's just go back. Okay, that's 16 bars, 30 bars. Where's 30 bars? So 1 month back, we're at $51,000. 2 months back, let's go to 60 bars. 2 months back, we were at $41,000. And yet some people are frustrated that we are having a little bit of a pullback. We've seen time and time again. I remember about a month and a half ago, I was sharing these charts. I shared a broken down chart showing that once we've had these large impulses, we regularly have these periods of frustrating times. This was 44, 45 days. This right here was sideways, chopping back and forth 53 days until it ultimately kind of chopped to the downside. And then this large impulse, what do we get? We got price action going sideways for 55 days. Then it broke down. And when it broke down, then it went sideways for another 63 days, then another impulse to the upside. And this is where we had the bullish pressure, not letting this go further to the downside. But in reality, this was a little bit of a sideways consolidation just with an upward trajectory. And this was another 38 days. So right now, look at this massive impulse. Still a little bit sideways, but still upward impulse here. And we're getting a little bit of a correction. It's okay. This correction provides opportunity. I've added to a few positions over the last month. Remember, I started stacking my altcoin portfolio starting, where was it? February 7th, which was right. Look at that. It was right here, right before this continuation of uptrend on Bitcoin. Now we're going to be talking about a couple key altcoins that have been really pushing today. And I just want to shout out, we got an afternoon stream. We have an afternoon stream as well. If I come here and go, if I come right here, let me come back here. Come right here, go to refresh, and we can see this right here. We got the Degen show this afternoon, 3:15 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you come and check this out. Ding your bell so you can come live, watch it live. It's going to be with me and Rodney. We're talking about Avax and Solana meme coins. We're going to also talk about BOEM and Big Red TD and Cocky and You. This is that stream where we talk about all those micro caps and those meme coins. We're going to be doing that at 3:15 p.m. today. So make sure to check that out. But we got to come over here and look back at our watch list here. Let's go to 24 hours. Purple AI up, Avalanche up 11%, Aerodrome up 10%, Seer Network 4%. So there's been a lot of really big moves that have been happening, chopping around in this market, especially we have to remember, we also have the NVIDIA AI conference that's going on right now. And there's will likely be a little bit of chop around that. There's a potential the AI projects could actually drop rather dramatically. So the question you have to ask yourself right now with AI coins, AGIX, Fetch, Render, Near, all GRT, all coins, whether they're deeply in AI or at least part of that narrative on a speculative nature, what's your time horizon? If it's something you're looking to hold for a year, 2, 3 years plus, that's going to be up to you to decide. And if that's the case, then you look for opportunities to buy this dip. If this is something you were just writing for the speculation, might be something you need to consider closing out of the position. Again, this is all determined by what your time horizon is. Now we see Arweave down 13% over 24 hours, OPSEC down 13%, Akala down 12%, Fetch, AI narrative, down 12%, PAL down 12%, Singularity down 10%, Codex, I added some more to this morning, down now 9%, Near also down 9%. So there's a lot of movement happening in this market right now. We're going to be covering TA on these projects here in just a moment. So my question to you right now is, when you look down below this video, have you hit that like button? Have you subscribed and join us in the family here in the BitLab, and ding the bell so you get notified when we go live? And if you don't know who I am, welcome to the show. My name's Kelly Kellum. Let's dive into what's going on in these markets so that we can stay ahead. All right, first things first, boom. If you're not following me, I don't know what you're doing. Make sure you follow the correct Kelly Kellum. It's at Kelly Kellam. There's no other spelling. There's only one of me. Make sure you're following BitLab Academy here, also at Academy BitLab. Now, we are 97.6%. Look at this tiny little gap right here. This is where we were previous cycles on this amount of time to the halving. We are right there. and yet we haven't gotten any large correction. This is one of the reasons why there's a lot of cautionary people out there. I'm not talking about the bears calling for 30,000. I'm talking about, hey, we've always had, 30, 40, 50% pullback pre-halving, and we've only had 20%, several 20% corrections along the way. We've had no large corrections. Maybe we don't get it this time. Maybe we get another 20% correction or less coming up. But the point is, things are getting a little frothy, and we're going to talk about that because we are still in extreme greed. Yes, we dipped down below the 80s. We are up in the 80, 85, 87, depending on which metric you're using to look at fear and greed. Either way, we were getting pretty frothy on the greed side of things, which makes it ripe for opportunity for market makers to trigger those emotions to take your money. Now, where are we at right now? Well, on an on-chain basis, we can see this is the MVRV, the market value to realized value. Market value is what you're seeing on exchanges, what people are trading the price of Bitcoin at. Realized value is the average of the average price that every Bitcoin in circulation the last time it traded. So you're getting a realized value, meaning you're getting the metric typically will be below the Bitcoin price, except for those brief periods like right here where price action, the market value actually dipped below the realized value. When you see that on the market, that's when you really want to make sure you figure out a strategy, if you don't have one yet, to really be DCAing in. But what we're seeing right now in terms of the overheatedness of the market, we are at a level here. We can see that this is above where we were back here in March, when we had this basically move from 3,100 all the way up to 14,000. Shout out to my boy Alex Green for gifting 5 BitLab Academy memberships here on the YouTube. Shout out. We got Theo. Who we got? We got Crypto Crabman, new in the membership. Silver Days, B Team Crypto, getting back involved, and Fabio Mariano. Shout out to all the new BitLab members. Big love to you. But the point here is, yes, on a time basis in terms of where we're at in relationship to the halving, but also on an on-chain basis where we've seen that we've gotten fairly overheated in the past. We see this above this marked where we were at the top at 69,000. Similarly, this was a market cycle, early market cycle top where we had this double top last cycle, $64,000. But what I'm interested in is where we're at in the market cycle and where the MVRV score was pre-halving. And similarly, right here, this is where we were when we had that top at 14,000 and then that 55, 56% sell-off. Then we had this black swan event that basically took us down to a total of about, I think it was like 72 or 76% or something like that. Either way, the point here is that we are getting to what previously has been an overheated enough level pre-halving. We also see it back here that has seen a bit of a correction in the market. Now, when we come over into the BitLab Discord, into the Kelly Alpha channel here in the BitLab member zone, I shared some metrics this morning showing, separate from the MVRV, the market value to realized value, let's just look at how profitable the market is on the coins that are moving. In this case, we can see, I have a dot right here, right where I put my mouse. This is a realized profit or loss. What's the ratio of how many coins are being traded at a profit versus a loss? In this case, okay, we have gotten to a point of profitability in coins being sold that's as high as it's been since all the way back here. And I can't remember this date. Let me actually pull this up really quick. Glassnode. Give me 1 second. There we go. Let me sign in really quick. I swear I sign in 14 times a day and it never leaves me signed in. It's all good. Little frustrations throughout the day. Always keep you balanced, right? All right. So coming back over here to the charts, boom. Now we're going to go to favorites right here. Realize, here we go. Boom. We can see that level that I marked right here, it hadn't been this high since this is how high it is. Boom. Right up there. That's above where we were in profitability in the 2017 into 2020 cycle. Sorry, 2017 into 2018 cycle, where we topped out at $20,000. We haven't been this profitable on coins being traded since all the way back here in 2013 coming into 2014. So that does give a little bit of caution. Yes, profitability is great, But when everything is profitable, that gives incentive also for selling pressure to come in the market and a little bit of cool off. So we need to pay attention to that. Now, similarly, we also see on the liquidation levels, look at this, look at these charts and tell me where you see more color, above or below. As overheated as things are, we do see more essentially magnetic energy, AKA the higher likelihood of price going towards where most of the color is, where most of the interest is. And that is above us right now, meaning there is data that suggests that we could be making a move to the upside, at least at minimum, to clear some of this liquidity. It doesn't mean it has to happen. We could still have selling pressure and be pushing this to the downside. But note that most of this color is above us, not below us, meaning there's more liquidity that's available in the order books and liquidation levels and et cetera if the price gets pushed to the upside. Now, next chart we're going to be looking at is right here. We have kind of a split difference here where we have this liquidation levels heat map shows that there's a lot right here above $69,000. We're kind of in the blue. We're in open water right here. There's nothing that says this price action has to go up or down. This does show that we have somewhat of a barrier on both sides. This is on the 12-hour chart, kind of zoomed in. We very well could just kind of chop in this zone for a little bit. And we're going to be talking about that when we get into the charts here in just a moment. Now, similarly, we're talking about selling pressure on the market. Well, we can see, I clicked the wrong thing. There we go. And in relation to this adjustment, if we look at the SOPR, the spent output profit ratio, similar to what I was looking at with the realized profit value, there was a ratio, as to say, there was a big movement related to profit realization by short-term holders who held Bitcoin for less than 5 months. That 5-month mark is where it kind of flips the narrative from short-term holder to long-term holder. It's 155 days, if I'm remembering correctly. But we're seeing a huge spike here. The last time we saw a spike as high as this was all the way back here. We're almost at that level, but that $14,000 level that we saw in 2018. So we have to pay attention to this. Now, does this mean that we can't continue higher right now because there's some profits being taken? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means that there are some people, because we are at a necessary level on the price action on Bitcoin, that once we hit this previous all-time high, much like right here, what is this price level? If you don't know what it is, look all the way over to the right where my mouse is. $17,000, $18,000, $19,000. This was the first time the price action came up to this previous all-time high. If we go to a bigger chart, we can see that's marked out just like this, previous all-time high. What did price do when we got to that level? It chopped around and took your lunch if you didn't have a strategy, but it gave the last opportunity for those that were looking to it. Price action consolidated sideways. I mean, if we zoom in on this, let's zoom in on this and just look. Zoom in. There we go. So this was not for the faint of heart. We can see that when the price action pushed up into the previous all-time high, it then dropped 17%, then pumped 22%, and then it dropped back again, another 11%, chopping out anybody that was looking to take profits. Maybe they were scared because of where the previous all-time high was, but major levels on a chart, when you look left, provide a good indication where there's going to be likely some volatility, a little bit of resistance, and some work that needs to be done. So when we zoom into where we're at right now, we just came into that $67,000, $68,000, $69,000 range. When we zoom in on it, when my mouse starts to work, there we go. When we zoom in on it, let's get down to the 4-hour time frame. And notice that we've already had about we can actually adjust this just a little bit, just like that. And we'll take this over. This is about a 12%. I actually think I have it drawn better on this chart right here. So that's about a 12% move from the top here to this low that we've had. And on this move from here all the way down to here, we can see that the price action respected this fib all the way up here into this golden pocket, an expected level, a regular level that price action tends to bounce at. We could not clear that. In fact, it was only a wick on the 4-hour candle and the bears took it right back down, rolling over, coming down. Now there is 2 scenarios here that are most dominant. One is that we maybe do have a little bit of an inverted head and shoulders here. The longer this goes sideways or the deeper this goes, the less likely this is an inverted head and shoulders. If this is an inverted head and shoulders, we take a measurement just like this from the neckline to the deepest part of that neck. And we can see that this basically literally, option J, literally just has a target back to this previous all-time high right at this zone. Remember, if the bulls come back in charge and they try to, and they break out of this, we cannot look at this and say that's the direction it's going. We just know that that's one of the levels that we've mapped out as a likelihood. We just saw that it's basically unprecedented levels of profitability right now. The question is going to be over this week is how much inflows in terms of capital flowing into the ETFs is going to show, what's the data going to show it's happening with the ETFs? Are people going to be taking this opportunity to continue buying? Or is there going to be a little bit of a cool off here because people are scared of this price? And will there still be outflows on Grayscale? So we have to pay attention to that. We can see on the BitLab trend fuel, bottom right, a lot of red, red, neutral, red, red, red. So there's a lot of bearish signals right now that suggest that as much as I want this to be an inverted head and shoulders, we got to look to the levels that we've had mapped out for a couple weeks now. I mean, this is a beautiful chart pattern that played out with this rising wedge. We talked about the potential for this to continue breaking higher because we've seen a lot of rising wedges break to the upside in the previous, in this run up essentially. Now, I also said that although that has happened up until this point, we are now above all-time highs and we saw bearish divergence coming into this M formation right here. So we were watching for a break of this level, which we got, and a retest of this, flipping this previous support to resistance. And what did we get? If we actually take this down to the 1 hour, we can see this played out absolutely picture perfect for how a rising wedge tends to enact, meaning price action tends to break to the downside. And when you break any support or resistance, what you want to do as a smart trader is be a little bit patient, see this breakdown, wait for a confirmation test of the zone again, and then a further breakdown from there. And this is exactly what happened. Where we go, price came right down into this, essentially this level that we have mapped out right in here with this previous range highs, previous range lows right here before the breakdown. And the price action is really just kind of interacting around this level now. The next level to the downside I'm watching is this 61,405. Now let's go on to the high block. Let's look at the data. What does the data say? Where is the high? There it is. Okay, let's refresh this page. Take a look at where, if there's a 64, if there's a 61, where, okay, so this goes down 61, 64 is right here. We do have a little bit of color right in this area. We have a negative delta, meaning there's a lot of money that's basically on the short side of this right here. Now, we tend to see this kind of flip back and forth. Let's come on. Boom. There we go. So 64, the next level down we can't see is $62,000. But if we if we zoom out and come over here to this liquidation map, we can see it's actually go to this 7-day short. Sorry, run. We can see the highest color we see on here is up here at that previous all-time high, 74 into $75,000 range. Very, very bright. If we zoom in on this, I want to go all the way down to 60,000. We're not seeing a lot of colors coming down in here. This is why, on the one hand, I feel very bearish, like there's a likely correction coming. But the data is also suggesting that there's a lot of sort of magnetism for price action to come up and test back into this level. The question is going to be what happens here in the zone. As it stands right now, we are seeing I feel like a little bit of capital rotation out of Bitcoin into these other plays like Solana, which broke all the way up into this $200 range, an area that we already have mapped out on the chart for quite some time here. And it felt kind of shocking that we get here so soon, but we have. It came right to this target. We're just shy of it, but right above $200. Now, what does this mean if we pull back? Well, I would be ultimately watching this right here, option J, which we've already tested, which is this previous range high. We're testing it right now. And it looks like, just so you know, it does look like we are potentially forming a little bit. We have a shoulder here, a little bit of a head here. If we do get any roundingness here, that would be a head and shoulders. And in this case, we could measure this from the top of that to the neckline there, breaks this down, and that suggests a price action come down here to test the top of this range, which is essentially right in here, which is down at 186. But ultimately, I think that if this does break down like this, that we will work ourselves down in 178 to $185 range. But this isn't bad. This means if you miss some of this move, or you hadn't had the opportunity to get your bag full as much as you wanted to, this presents you an opportunity. That's if the price action goes down to that direction. Now let's get back out here to the 4 hour and let's look at this. We do have, come on. We do have a little bit of bearish divergence here forming as these price action tops. See these tops going higher? Let's look at the data. At that same period, is the RSI going higher? Is the strength going higher or is the strength going lower? The strength on the RSI, the stochastics, as well as the momentum, all of these have lower highs. So we have 3 bearish divergences on the data while price action is pushing up. So it would make sense if price action did come back and test down in this $188 to $178 level. That wouldn't be the end of the world. It would actually provide us a very good opportunity to take advantage of if that were to happen. Now we also see Avalanche has been ripping to the upside here, but it is within this sort of channel, rising channel here, rejection, bounce, rejection, bounce. Currently, are we going to reject? Well, if we do, we're basically pushed right up here into the over plus 60 range. How many of you guys have Avax? What price point did you get in on Avax? I had a lot at a very low dollar range, but I had to take some profits. And when I moved here to Atlanta, and I paid for my move with my crypto profits, and then I got back in this. Where did we get in this at? We can actually see right here. Got back in at 34. So we have seen quite a big upside on that altcoin portfolio with the Avax I got back in. We still have positive money flow. It looks like the VWAP is angled to the downside, meaning that price action may be trying to move down. Now, the question is going to be how far down? Well, what we want to look at is that positive spread versus negative spread idea that I talk about all the time. If price action, which it already has, bounces on the VWAP, the big money still wants to play the positive spread. Now, this did bounce, and we started a little bit more of a pullback here. If this does lose not only this VWAP, but this trend signal line, this is essentially the $59 to $61 range, then I expect that this price action will likely come back down and test down here into the $52 range. We do have this previous range top as well as this bounce. I could see us coming all the way down here into the high 40s potentially, but let's just look at first, what does it do when the price action, if it does break down and lose this level? As it stands right now, Avax is getting a lot of attention. This very well may push back up and break out of this this range high that we have right here, in which case, if we do make that move, then I'd be watching. I don't think it would just be a straight shot out of here. I think if we broke out of here, we'd probably get trapped in this $65 to $70 range and retest this before continuing higher. Now, render, remember, we just talked about the AI narrative may be taking a little bit of profit, maybe a little bit of profit-taking time for bigger players, because we do have that AI conference and everything going on with NVIDIA right now. If it's lackluster or it doesn't meet expectations for any positive announcements or something that blows people away, then there is a possibility that the run that Render, Fetch, AGIX, etc. have been on. I mean, this has just been, this is where we got in here, $4. It's up here, all the way up here. I mean, golly, all the way up here to up over $13. I mean, that's a massive move. $204 move. That's beautiful. But this has been ripping to the upside, coming up on this zone that we have blocked out. What is the zone? It is a target of this macro sort of cup and handle here. That's the target. And look at this. It took some time to get there, but the price got there. And maybe it's due for a little bit of a correction. So what do we do? Let's go ahead and do option F from the bottom to the top. And look at this price action. Price action came down and bounced basically right on this 382. if the price action does come down and lose this $10 mark, $10, yeah, let's just call it $10 mark, then I do expect that the price action will likely give us a great opportunity to buy back down here. And I think it would be above this golden pocket, but somewhere in the $8 to $9 range. And we'll have to reevaluate from there. Solana, did I do Solana yet? Yeah, I did Solana, Avax render. Let's look at Link real quick. Link has been chopping sideways. And remember, the thing that moves, this moved first. It started a huge part of the alt rally and then traded sideways. Push up, trading sideways. When this gets unleashed, I think it will be unleashed incredibly. But as it stands right now, this is still just chopping between this range low and this sort of range high right in here. So I'm not expecting any fireworks for Link here in the near future. So let's just be patient with it. Patient. Near. Layer 1 protocol also, you know, is a company that started as an AI focused company. Sorry. But it's also seeing some of the same narrative that we're seeing on Render and AGIX and a little bit of a pullback. We also have not only a double top, look at this, 2 bearish divergences, 3 more bearish divergences, all here printed here with the BitLab trading stack. But we also had a trend shift here. Trend got a little weak, broke down, tried to shoot back up, 3 bearish divergences and a bearish reversal signal as the price action breaks below the VWAP and the trend signal line. So I'd be watching for a potential pullback on near, maybe down to the 626. Let's do a box there. 626 zone right in here. Come on. There we go. Right there, right in the 650 down to 636 sort of zone. If we lose this, and this does become an M formation, this would be the break of this M formation, which would indicate we may be coming down a little bit lower. Where would that be? Well, let's look at some major levels on the chart. Let's draw this one out. We're here. That's all the way down to 4. Wow. That sucks, right? No. If you believe in this project, that means you have an opportunity to get something at nearly less, basically about half the price it just got to right up here. Now, does it mean that's going to happen? There's no telling, but we are prepared either way. So let's draw a fib line from here to the top, and we can see the golden pockets right here at the $5 mark. Is there a better fib level we can see? Yeah, I would say this $6 down into the $5 zone to be what I'd be looking for near. Say, we haven't looked at Say in a while. Pushed up, massive, nice move to the upside here. Traded a bit sideways, correction down. We got in right here, pushing up, and now it's just kind of chopping sideways. I think there's a lot of people, a lot of coins, a lot of projects that are waiting on what Bitcoin decides to do in terms of profit taking, because regardless of what people want it to do, as the ball starts turning in terms of a bearish sentiment, it very easily can snowball and start cascading to the downside and pulling the rest of the market down with it. Now, where we're at on this market cycle and how close we are to this halving, I'm just begging all of you to look for levels that you can find different projects you can add positions to. I would not be just chopping in and out, back and forth on this market. So my question to you right now, everybody live in the chat right now, and if you're watching later, comment down below. Let me know what coin you're waiting on a big pullback on. If you could only pick one, what coin and what price are you looking for in a potential pullback that's happening right now? I'm curious to see what that is. And again, everybody, this afternoon, 3:15 p.m., make sure to come back here to BitLab Academy. We're doing the Crypto Degen afternoon stream, Avax and Solana memes, as well as Bohm, Cocky New, and Big Red, as well as some strategy to capture those meme gains. I'm doing that with Rodney every Monday at 3:15 p.m. I love you all. I appreciate you. That's all I got for right now. And remember, you still have the ability, because the price is below all-time highs, to go to lab.bitlabacademy.com/Josh, lab.bitlabacademy.com/Josh, and sign up. You got a 30-day free trial. I just posted the link in the live chat there. Take advantage of it while price is below the previous all-time high, because I think I'm going to turn this sale off once that happens. You get full access to our Discord, where I'm sharing alpha. Josh is sharing alpha calls. We're doing member streams. We're doing so much. So get in there, take advantage of that 30-day free trial. And when you sign up, do me a favor, check your inbox, check your spam folder, check your junk folder. There's a 2-step, very simple process that all you need to do is follow the 2 steps and you'll have all the permissions automatically added. If you have any issues, you can hit me up on help@bitlabacademy.com. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I got to run so I can talk to High Block and see how I can get some access for our community to those liquidations level. Everybody hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, and I'll see you this afternoon at 3:15 p.m. I'll see you there. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. BitLabAcademy.com. Hit that like button, sucker.